what the Crazies does, which I really enjoy about this movie, is that anyone in town could be infected with this disease and you don't know it. And it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your best friend, it could be your mother, your father, your kid, anybody who happens to have consumed the water at the wrong time can get this disease and slowly becomes mad. And the idea of taking these people who are incredibly close to you, who are your closest, dearest friends and relatives, and suddenly turning them into homicidal maniacs who might go after to try and kill you or might just become crazy in some non-violent way. That's what I really responded to in the movie. The reality is that the core of this movie, the inception of the movie, is one that is based in a reality that can happen. I mean, there are biologically engineered weapons that exist, obviously, today, that were developed starting in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. One of the things that I loved about this movie is it takes place in the heartland of America, in middle America. It is these vast open spaces, these wheat fields and cornfields that go on for miles and miles, these endless plateaus of nothingness. And it's a really interesting, epic landscape. We spent a good portion of time scouting this movie. A lot of the movie, nothing was built in the movie from scratch. Everything was either found locations, manipulated locations, rebuilt locations, or locations as they were. So it was really a lot of scouting on this movie, a lot of traveling and finding the right places to shoot, and then to make them into what we needed them to be. We met with Rob Hall and just started R&Ding and figuring out what this design was going to be way early in the process. And we did a bunch of mock-ups, and in the early mock-ups we played with ideas of creating sores and open sores around the mouth and the mucal membranes, the eyes and the nose, and as we did it, it kept looking like zombies. Like every time we did where we manipulated and changed it, but every time that kind of concept of sores around the mouth, around the eyes, around the nose, that no matter what we did, no matter how far we tried to push it from zombies, it always looked like a zombie. So then we threw that all away and started again from scratch and decided, well, what if we don't have any open sores, no blood at all, we just play it all under the skin, and that's what we ended up really having success with, was the idea of like the bulging veins and the tight neck muscles. And we had, so what Rob did is he built these neck pieces that we can put on that when he'd take a life cast of people, which means they take a cast of the face and a cast of their neck, and he would have them tighten their necks as much as possible so that when he applied this neck piece onto the Crazies in the stage 3, in the latter stage, it looked as if all the muscles are constantly engaged and constantly tight, as if you had tetanus. And that was one of our reference we used, was tetanus. And so then we started from that base, and then he has an entire face application he'd put on that, and then have these veins that he'd put on and then hide them under the skin with makeup. And it was really quite a successful and I think unique looking thing.